Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, teacher, we can hear. I can hear you at least.
Okay. Hi, Sebastián, Juan David, Lisette, Belisario, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. So let's wait 2 minutes and see if the others come to the class, okay? Because it is not even the half of the participants of this class, right? Ready? Okay. Let me see. Okay, there is only 4 people. I have to tell you that I have been checking the videos, the video classes. Hello, Carlos. I have been checking the video classes. Still, I have to check 4 more. So, Lisette and Carlos, I'm going to do it tonight. Okay? So, I am giving the grades and I'm giving the feedback. But Juan David, Belisario, Sebastián, I have already watched your videos. Thank you very much for sharing those videos, your classes. Okay, I found them very good, actually. And I wrote, okay, let's say some recommendations, but they are suggestions, only suggestions, just to change a little bit what we have here. Okay.
Yes, teacher, I just saw your feedback. I was like waiting for that feedback. I've been waiting for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And we have here Luz Elena and Diana. Luz Elena, I have to watch your video tonight, and I'm going to give you the feedback tonight. Okay. So
Okay, teacher, thank you.
for this week, for this coming Wednesday, we have like the reflection paper about the class that you delivered, the video that you delivered, and the contrasting of the video with the lesson plan. I have to tell you that I opened the lesson plan every time I watch each one of the videos. So I try to follow the like what you wrote, pay attention to the objectives that you wrote, and everything. Okay. So I wrote those recommendations for that reason. Yes, some of the recommendations for that reason. Okay. Sorry, give me a second. In order to start doing the reflections, we have here this form. As I told you last class, this form is a little static, so it doesn't allow a lot of reflection, but I want you to go back towards each one of the aspects and start analyzing what happened in your class in regards to that. For example, the communicative objectives. What communicative objectives do you write on the lesson plan, and what happened? How do you develop those communicative objectives? Could you reach the objective at the end? Did your student notice that they achieved that objective that you proposed? So those are some of the things that you have to start analyzing here about the communicative objective. In the case of the class opening and closure, how was the warm-up or the wrap-up activity? Was the warm-up appropriated to the topic? Was it appropriated? Or did you need to start looking for other kind of activities in order to engage your students in the class? And the wrap-up. At the end of the class, what happened? How do you close your class? What did you do? What could you do for improving that class as well, right? In the case of here, the methodology says methodology favored and its stages. So in the lesson plan, you wrote a methodology favored. So some of you wrote task-based learning and other methodologies. So if you wrote certain methodology, you have to see what are the characteristics of that methodology, what are the principles of that methodology. In the class, you did something or happened something that was very related to those stages, to those principles of the methodology. How can you evidence that thing? How can you make that thing evident? Sorry. Right? So for example, if you wrote that your class was based on task-based learning, what was the task? How did they develop the task? How do you promote the task? As it is task-based learning, you are working with the communicative approach. So how do you work, or how do you evidence that the communicative approach principles are present? Maybe not all of them, but some of them, right? In the different stages. When it says stages, it talks about also this kind of phases. This is like a I'm going to mute you, Diana. There is a lot of noise. Thank you. Sorry. Sorry, I don't listen to you because I mute you. Right? So in the case of the stages, these stages are the proposed ones. But if you follow other kind of stages, you have to write the stages you wrote. I mean, I remember that Diana wrote different stages. I mean, like in different, I mean, no different stages because the stages are there, but different like moments, right? Like listening something, the grammar something in the lesson plan. It is an example. So you wrote and explained this kind of things. Don't explain what you did. Explain the relationship of what happens in the class with the theory we are learning here about task-based. Okay, that's the idea. When we have here the classroom management and affective factors, you have to analyze what happened to your students. Remember that one thing about classroom management doesn't mean discipline. It is not discipline directly. Classroom management, the concept of classroom management is how you deal with the students in the class in order to make them work, or to have a very good environment to work. Not necessarily organized, quiet, and those kind of things that we usually think or relate to when we talk about classroom management, okay? So the concept of classroom management must be like the flow of the class and the environment itself, and the affective factors, okay? In the affective factors, we can include the way you approach to your students, right? For example, I'm going to give an example. I don't know if she's here, but Alejandra starts with my children. They talk to the little children, like, and she says, my children, we are going to work, or something like that. So it is kind of affection that she's showing. These words show that she is really I don't know, getting approach to those students. Okay, so try to analyze those affective factors in the way you speak and in the way you act with them, right? Affection in this sense is not only to feel like love or this kind of feelings, but also affection means the way you treat them when they are in front of the class, right? Yeah, for example, I like the way that Belisario works with little children. He works with little children, and I like the way he talks to them and gives them feedback, right? Because it's very affectionate. Yeah, maybe because of the age of the students, but we can see what happens with the others, and it is more or less the same. Okay. The role of the material, I want you to focus here on the role of the material. How important is the material in your class? If the material is, or the material in this case, are having a very, very relevant place, or if they are only a way to get information to do something else, right? Because sometimes, I am not talking about anyone in particular, but sometimes teachers tend to use the material as the center and the curriculum of the class, right? So you can see that. Pay attention to that factor of the class, of the material. Class duration, I am going to suggest not to pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to this one. Class duration for everybody is particular, and I think that it was concrete and it was correct. The teaching techniques, so we talk about the learning factors, but we have to talk about also the teaching techniques, and we have to pay attention to here to one question. What is the role of the teacher? What is the role of the teacher in your class? Okay, so what is your role? What roles are you assuming when you are teaching? And what are the techniques that you are using in here? Okay, are they appropriate for the kind of population you have or not? And also, we talk about this last class, I think. We talk about the teacher meta language. Watch your video again and see if you are using too much meta language. For example, when you explain the adjectives, or when you explain the verbs, or when you explain the structure, if you explain structure. So how much meta language are you using? Do you think that your students are going to understand it? Or you think that you have to change that meta language, right? After watching the video, your video again, and doing this reflection, there is something else that you have to do, and it is the lesson plan. Okay, so far for this Wednesday, focus on the reflection. Focus on this part. After Wednesday, you have to focus. You have to start planning the second class. Okay. Yes, Diana.
Teacher.
Wait a moment, Jairo. Diana is going to speak. She raised her hand.
One second before Jairo. 1 second.
Teacher Jairo, are you showing on the screen the format?
You cannot see anything?
I see it very tiny at the top, but maybe it's because I changed the formatting of my screen. But does it supposed to be big on the screen?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe something wrong to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I can see it now. Yeah.
Okay, right.
I just have a question about that. Communicative objective. So basically, we have to write how in our lessons we were able to accomplish those.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And if your students could notice that they accomplish those communicative objectives as well.
Okay. And basically, teacher, the whole activity, this activity about the reflection is based on the communicative objectives, I suppose, how the class opening or the warm-up activity was able to help to accomplish the students with the communicative objective, basically everything around the communicative objectives.
Not necessarily, but if you put it in the terms that you are talking, yes. I mean, well, you have to pay attention here to many factors, I know, but you have to relate everything with what you wanted to do, the communicative objectives, yes, but also with the methodology or the approach that we are using. Okay? The approach that you are using. And you have to explain that, right?
Thank you, teacher. That's great.
Okay, so we are going to listen to Jairo and then we are going to listen to Sebastián.
Teacher.
Yes.
No, I just my question has to do with if we're supposed to make the reflection and take into account these general comments from you, or there's gonna be specific feedback on each one of the videos that we recorded.
I am writing some specific recommendations, but in general, you have to follow the recommendations I am giving here in class, because the others that I am giving specifically are more for the next lesson plan.
Okay, and the second question would be, when is the second recording gonna be uploaded? So that we can...
That's a very good question. I don't remember. Let me see. Let me see here.
That's before May 19th.
May 19th? Let me see. Let me see. Wait a moment.
So that is before Sunday or so.
This coming Sunday?
So actually, but then things are piling up in the sense that we're just uploading the feedback on Wednesday.
Is there a possibility, teacher, to give us until next week or next Wednesday, please? So we are still finishing this activity.
Wait a moment. I am checking here.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me see. Someone is speaking here. Okay, I don't know who's writing on the chat. There is a problem with my computer. I don't know if it is computer the platform. I cannot read. So if somebody read what is in the chat, let me know. Yes, but the problem is that okay, I'm going to change the dates, but we have to agree on this because I have to be honest with this one. Let me see here. Last semester, I changed some dates from the ones that I planned here, and some students complained. So this time I have to make like a consensus in order to change not some of the dates, all the dates, because we are like behind in 1 week, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we are behind.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and this is very short. Right. So
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt.
I am
It
going to
just
I am going to change the grades in the form here in the form. So we are going to move the grades like a week and a half, I think. Okay. So
thank
because
you.
the first reflection is for this Wednesday, so this Wednesday is not enough. So pay attention to this. I don't know. I'm taking some risks. I am going to leave this first reflection for 19. I mean, we are going to move 1 week because we are 1 week behind. And the 19, we need the reflection and the lesson plan. Okay? And the 26, we are going to have, sorry, Diana, I'm going to mute you again. The 26, we are going to have the video, the second video.
Fantastic. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, we have to move 1 week.
Perfect.
Perfect, teacher. Excellent.
Pay attention to this. The next one, the reflection must be on May the 2nd. May the 2nd, June the 2nd, sorry. June the 2nd, just to have the 9. Yes. June the 2nd here. Okay, I'm going to change the dates, and you're going to see that there are going to be some changes, okay?
Okay.
Teacher, we really appreciate. Just to ask you something, if it's just only if it's possible. If you think, see that it's not possible, it's okay. But just to ask. The 26th, when we have to upload the second video, that is a Sunday. The assignment will be due for Sunday. Is there a possibility to move it for the Monday or the Tuesday to have more weekdays? It's because with my group, like say for example, the last day is on the Monday or the Tuesday. I have to, the company that I work for, I have to tell the directors a week before that I'm gonna record the classes, and then they have to approve it. So it takes like a week and a half. Just if it's possible, if you see it's possible, like to instead of the Sunday to move it for the Monday or the Tuesday, or we give it on Sunday. It's your decision.
I don't know what the rest think about that.
I don't have a problem, teacher.
Yeah, I think yeah.
No, I don't have a
Yeah.
problem.
No problem, teacher.
Okay.
Thank you,
The thing
classmates.
Yes, okay. The thing is that I repeat, last time people complained because I give more time. So not everybody, but there was a complaining just because I give more time. So that's why I am asking for a consensus. If one person doesn't agree, we cannot do it. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, I don't know why, but I have to do this.
Yeah, I don't know why okay, thank you.
So I'm going to change this here. Okay, Sebastian, do you have any question? Because you raised your hand.
Yeah, teacher. Well, my question was about this because I was a little bit lost with dates. Actually, I uploaded the reflection from my first class, but I didn't complete the lesson plan part of the form because I didn't have my class prepared since last Saturday. So I wonder if I can upload it again or upload it in the form that we have with the lesson plan form ready.
No, upload it again, because otherwise I'm going to get lost. Okay?
Okay.
I don't know where. If you put the information in another place, I am sure I'm not going to find it.
Okay. And so, teacher, when do you think you're gonna have the dates updated in the platform for us to know?
This one tonight.
Okay, great, amazing, thank you.
Well, otherwise I'm going to forget. Believe me. So tonight I'm going to.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Do you have any other question?
No, I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay. So guys, Pay attention to this. As the second recording is coming, we have to continue working on the idea of what task-based is and the communicative approach. So please look for information. I have Diana, something happened to your microphone and it makes a noise, very strange noise. Okay, I close it. So we have to look for information about the task-based learning. If you don't want to use the task-based learning, at least try to use the principles of the communicative approach. That was something that we worked, or that you worked on the very first class. Remember, with the video, the communicative approach. So we saw that there are some important things, and we analyzed that from the Ministry of Education papers, that there is, for example, the social constructivism. It means that people need to work together. It is one thing. The other principle of the communicative approach is that grammar is not inductive, it's deductive. So you have to teach that in a different way, not in a direct way, but in a different way. So we have to start seeing those kind of things, okay? Analyzing those kind of things. So my invitation is to go towards the information you have here. Let me see. In the same document of the Ministry of Education, in the pedagogical principles, we have, or they have a section, right? Remember that we analyzed this part of this, the first class.
Yes,
We
sir.
have a section here. This which they call. Let me see. In unit number 5. I don't know if you can see, but we are going to see here. In the unit number 5, they say, what methodological principles guide the suggested English curriculum for transition and primary? It is for transition and primary, however, the curriculum is based on the communicative approach. And task-based learning, project-based learning are based on communicative approach. So we can read the task-based learning part and the project-based learning section in order to see what are the principles that are there and that contribute to the methodology suggested by the ministry, that it goes towards the communicative approach, right? So we can learn about a little bit more about that. Yeah. Okay. So what we can do next class then is to discuss about these principles, to discuss the possible activities, the possible ways of working with the task-based learning or the project-based learning, or with any other methodology that goes towards the communicative approach. Okay, so having this in mind, we can start projecting the lesson plan for the next. Oh, okay, so the lesson plan is for next week, right? Yes, lesson plan is for next week. So we can start projecting the lesson plan for the third session. Yeah, having those kind of things in mind. Yeah, just to continue analyzing and going deeper the principles of this aspect. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Right. Another important thing before I forget. Sorry, and then you continue. Some of you wrote the population on the lesson plan, and it is perfect, because remember that there is not any section to describe the level of students, the amount of students. So it is perfect, but some of you forgot. So please check if the lesson plan contains the population you are going to work with. It is very important for me because in that sense, I can read the lesson plan and I can understand what you are going to do. Okay. Okay. So who wants to speak?
Teacher, so I have a confusion. We have a form for the reflection of the class, right? And in the same form, there is a space for us to fill the lesson plan of the next session.
Yes.
But we uploaded last week. Well, at least I did. I uploaded the reflection from previous class, but not the lesson plan.
Okay. Yes, but okay. Check your reflection. If you need to complement something, complement it, and add the lesson plan just next to it. Because the purpose of this form is that you, or that I, can notice that from your reflection, you can change some things in the lesson plan.
Okay, great.
That's like the purpose.
So we're always supposed to send it together, the reflection together with the lesson plan.
With the lesson plan, yes.
And that is due next Wednesday. No, next Wednesday.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Okay.
Yes, I give you more time because you have to plan.
Great. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's way clearer. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Right. Any other comment or any other question?
No, sir.
Oh, Lisette, you have a baby.
Yes, that's why I silenced the microphone.
Okay, right. As I said at the beginning, I want to congratulate all of you. I haven't finished the videos, but I can see that you have like experience teaching. And as you have experience teaching for you is easy, right? So I really enjoyed your classes. Believe me, each one of the classes I have watched, I have learned something. But as the purpose of this class is just to not just to give class, but reflecting upon the classes. That's the emphasis that I want to give to the class, the reflection upon the class, right? Okay, guys. So I don't have any other thing to say today. I am very shy today. So I don't know if you want to add something.
Well, I have another question. I'm sorry, teacher.
Go ahead.
The thing is that the program that I work with or that I'm teaching with has the same steps every single class. So they propose very similar activities. So for example, they first have the warm up. They have so the students know what is next, and they can have transitions, more like smooth transitions. Is there a problem with that? I mean, we're always going to have a listening session at the end of the class with very short videos.
It is because the class is very structured. I mean, is it structured in that way?
Yes, exactly.
Interesting.
Well, I think I can implement some other activities, but it is not supposed to be very different from what is planned in the teacher's manual or whatever.
Don't worry, but try. I mean, the organization, if the organization of the class is stated, we cannot do anything. But if you can implement other kind of things within them, it could be perfect, right?
Okay, great. I'll try to do it then.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian. Okay, guys. So,
teacher, I have a question.
Go ahead.
See, the thing is that I was like taking my second class today, and we were taking like the pictures for the yearbook. So it took like 15 minutes of my class. So when I got to the classroom, I tried to complete like the whole class, but I wasn't able to. Can I continue tomorrow and then just add the 2 classes? Because I was not able to finish. Is that okay?
What class are you talking about, Lisa?
The second recording.
Okay, Liz. This is going to be.
Because
This is
I
going to.
wasn't able to. I'm sorry.
Yes, but sorry. This is going to be cruel, but it is supposed that you have to record that class next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just doing it, going ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, don't worry. It is okay.
Because I
Everything.
have so much work, so I was like trying to do it before.
Okay, but everything has a reason, you know, because you haven't reflect upon the class, and it is supposed that you
Okay.
reflect upon the class, and then you make some modifications, and then you go to the class and start doing the class.
And then, oh, okay, okay. Thank you. I'm
Each
sorry.
of that.
It was that next week we have evaluation, so I was just like worried that it doesn't give me the time because
Okay.
it's on Thursday.
Okay.
So why I was like doing it ahead.
Okay, I understand. I understand. So you can take the risk of having that class recorded. Okay. I don't know
Like as a,
how long is it?
I'm sorry.
How long is it?
No, it's about like 15 minutes. But today we were taking the picture for the yearbook, so it
Yeah,
took
yeah.
off like 15 minutes, which I'll do tomorrow.
Okay,
But
right.
it's just that I don't have enough time to do it because we have evaluations next week.
Right.
And then we have recuperations for the
Yes.
those. Okay, thank you.
Recuperations is very Colombian.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Sorry, I don't know how to say it in Spanish, in English.
I don't know. Okay, right.
Makeup exams.
Makeup. Yes.
Makeup, okay.
Right. Okay, listen. Don't worry. Don't worry about that. Send it then in that way. Right.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Don't worry about that. Okay. Okay. So if you don't have any other question or comment, we are going to close the class, so you can have time for preparing for the other class. Okay. Some of you have class right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Okay.
much for your time, teacher.
All right, teacher, thank you.
Teacher Jairo, thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
help. Thank you.
Okay.
You're all very helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
The baby says thank you too.
Yes. Just thinking over there.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Okay. Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.